Good morning, this is Randy. Went on the third date with Joe, and what I had suspected might happen happened. It happened fast, and it happened strong. He was getting a haircut right before we were going out to a restaurant. So I'm like, oh, wow, okay, well, is he normally getting a haircut, or is he getting a haircut for the date? You know, right before the big date, right? Then he comes and picks me up, and I wanted to just like go outside and jump into his car, because I figured if I was going to bring him, into the house and show him the house, then it was going to take a little while. And I wanted to do that afterwards if I had decided I was going to do it and if it wasn't too late. So I kind of ran out of my house and was going to jump into his car, and he said, well, I have something here on the seat for you, because he already had turned off his car. I said, oh, I thought we would just go. And he said, but I have something for you. I said, oh, really? What do you have? And he says, oh, I have flowers. So he hands me this bouquet of flowers. It was probably, I think it's a dozen roses, orange, red, and white with baby's breath. And I'm like, wow, that's really nice. Thank you. Well, I guess we need to go inside and I'll put these into some water. And so he came inside and just stood in the kitchen. I put them in water real quick, and then we left, and of course I thanked him profusely. I love flowers, and they're really pretty. So, I'm smiling about that because they're really beautiful flowers. That was nice. He didn't have to do that. So we get to the restaurant, and he's just staring at me very googly-eyed. And so I'm talking and talking, and he's like, his eyes are glazed over. He's just like staring at me, and he's like losing his own train of thought while he's talking, interrupting what either one of us were saying by saying stuff like, did I tell you how pretty your eyes are? I don't know, there's just something about your eyes. I don't know what it is. I love your hair. You've got great hair. You really look nice tonight. Then a little later, the best thing I like about you? Your lips. And the fact that when you left my house, you let me kiss you on the mouth once, and then I got to hug you when I was walking you to my car, and I got to kiss you on the mouth again. So that was like twice. And I really missed you. I've missed you. I'm like, what? You missed me since Tuesday? It's only Friday. He's like, yeah, that was like 3 days. I've missed you. So, oh my God, you can see how this is going. So then, all my mannerisms at the table like with the waitress. I just was, told the waitress what I wanted, or I asked her some questions, and after I talked to the waitress, he was like, I really like that. Like, you're really assertive. I like the way you talk to people. You and I are a lot alike. We get along really good. We're the same. Um, like when I'm telling them where to turn to get to the restaurant, he's like, "That's good. I like that. You can tell, you're sure of yourself. You can tell me what to do. You don't keep me guessing. Communication is really important." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, right. Yeah, I'm going to tell you where to go because you're not from around here and I know where we're going." So he kept saying, "Yeah, I'm really impressed. I'm impressed by like how assertive you are." And he goes, "I'm intrigued." And I said, "Well, I've been told that before, that you're not my first rodeo. Yes, I've been told I'm intriguing by a lot of guys, really a lot." And I mean, I didn't tell him that. I'm telling you that. And then he said, "But a lot of them are probably intimidated." And I said, "Totally, yeah, they are." And he's like, "Well, I'm not. I'm not intimidated. I like it. I like it that you know what you want and you can, just say things outright." And I'm like, "Okay." So then he's like, "What are you doing for Thanksgiving?" I said, "Well, I'll probably go to my aunt's, or I might just stay home. I might go to the parade with a friend who's single, a girlfriend." And he's like, "Well, my cousins invited me to go to their house in Myrtle Beach, and I've never been there, and I've never gone. They've been inviting me for years. My wife never wanted to go, and so and I never take vacations, but I want to go this year. Do you want to go to Myrtle Beach with me for Thanksgiving and stay at my cousin's house?" So I said, Thanksgiving, I said, "That's like in less than 2 weeks, I think, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I know it's soon. You probably want to get to know me more before you go on a vacation with me." And I said, "Yeah, probably." And then I'm like, "Well, like, how would we get there?" And he's like, "Well, it's an 8-hour drive, but we would fly." And I'm like, "Well, that would be expensive because getting last minute holiday airline tickets." He's like, "Well, I've never bought airline tickets before, but if it's too expensive, I can get a deal, but if it's too expensive, I guess we could drive." And I'm like, "And then if we flew," I said, "then how would we get around once we were there?" He's like, "Oh, I'll just borrow my sister's car." I'm like, "Well, who else is going to this Thanksgiving?" He's like, "My dad, my sister, brother-in-law, their kids, my cousins, they'll all be there." So it's like the whole entire family. And he already wants me to introduce me to his whole entire family and me to spend like an important holiday for 5 days. And I just met this guy on Monday, and this is Friday. And yeah, I was frozen. I was speechless. I finally was able to think a little bit better after it sunk in. And I told Joe that I thought it was a great idea that he goes on a vacation and that he goes down to his cousins. It sounds like a lot of fun to go there for Thanksgiving, but I think he needs to do it by himself and not with me. That is a family thing, and that for 5 days, yes, he should take a vacation and he should fly down there. And if he's got family that can pick him up and he doesn't really need to have a car, and he could be with, his family down there, take these days off of work and enjoy himself. I said, I think it's a great idea, but not with me. What you should not do is try to take me, because we don't know each other, and I don't know your family. And I told him, to tell you the truth, I don't want to be stuck somewhere that I can't get back for that many days. I said, that's kind of a long time, all the way Wednesday through Sunday. And I'm like, I think that you should just go by yourself, but I definitely think it's a good idea for you to go. Also, he had planned on going up north this weekend to close down his cottage up north. And I asked him if he was going up there, this weekend to do that, like he had told me on Monday. He said, no, I'm not going to do that this weekend. I'd rather go out with you. What are you doing tomorrow? Which is today. So this guy is like climbing down my throat. He's like wanting to spend every minute with me, vacation with me. He's in love. He is in love, and I'm not at all. I have no butterflies. I have no tingly anything. I have some good conversation, like casual, but then we pull up in my driveway after the restaurant, and I'm like, oh my gosh, see how many leaves I have. I got all these trees, and the neighbors get mad because my leaves blow onto their lawn, and I'm going to have to rake it. And he's like, when you want to do it, I can come over. I'll help you. I got a leaf blower. I can come over like tomorrow and do your leaves if you want. And I'm like, well, thank you very much. I don't know. Let's see how much I get done on my own. So, guys, I'm sorry. Sorry to get anybody excited, but this is not going to work out. I don't do this. I feel sorry for him. I don't do this to guys like that. I don't keep stringing them along and letting them have their fantasies run away with them, all the way to who knows where it ends. And like, I'm so far behind that. We're not on the same page at all. He's like a little kid in a candy store. He's like awestruck, like looking at me like I'm some celebrity or something. And I can't take it. It's just not the kind of guy for me. So I don't know how I'm going to be able to break this news to Joe. I'm sure it won't be pleasant. I could use some advice on that right now. All right, it's Saturday. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.